What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the AM, guys. Welcome back to 5 Minute Rants. I'm your host, Michael Abernathy, and welcome back to the show predicated on the journey of life and business. Well, everybody, I really appreciate you being here, and if you think about it, if you know somebody that this would help, or that this would help at least bring value to their life, would you share it with them and just make an impact on their lives? I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Well, anyways, guys, I'm going to jump straight into this. Today, I want to talk about the worst person to lie to is yourself. And I often think about this all the time, about how I am lying to myself, where am I lying to myself, and what am I lying to myself about? And I think it's very important to know that we all lie to ourselves in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And normally it's to avoid something that we don't want to confront. It's to avoid something that we don't want to do. Like I've talked about before, how oftentimes we'll take the path of least resistance and we'll actually do work that we find is less hard than the work that we actually need to be doing in the moment. And that's a form of what I'm talking about. And to give you an example of this personally in my life, I'm currently on the Getting Unfat program. In other words, losing weight. And it's not like I didn't wake up and take a shower and see myself in the mirror every day and then look at myself and not see that I was fat or overweight. I totally did. And the problem with that is I lied to myself. It wasn't that I was just, overweight and hurting myself with food. It was I lied to myself about how I look, because it would be like, oh, it's not that bad. Oh, no, it's okay. Yeah, you're overweight. And I would tell myself half truths. And by half truth, I mean, I tell myself 50% of the truth, like, hey, you're overweight. But then I would lie about the other 50%. It's not that bad. Cool. Yeah, you're not where you used to be, but it's not that bad, or it'll be okay, or you'll do it tomorrow. And that 50% lie is so destructive to where I'm telling myself half the truth, but not going all the way to finish the truth. And it's so destructive because it just delayed my journey to really love myself and take care of myself. And I find that we do this, that everybody does this. I talked to my wife about this. I talked to my business partner, Andrew, about this, about how we just lie to ourselves. And the lie is often predicated on staying the same. We want to, for whatever reason, stay in the same position because we really seek comfort. We avoid pain and we seek pleasure and we seek comfort. And that's what I did. And it was interesting because my nephew, who I think was 10 at the time or 9, he came up to me and said, Uncle Michael, you're really fat. And we were just playing. And he said that. And I was like, oh, that was so painful. It hurt. And I was like, this is exactly what I needed. He is so right. And he was willing to tell me the truth, all of it, the 100%, while I was unwilling to tell myself the truth. And I was like, man, this is so good. And I told him, bro, thank you so much for telling me that. And thank you for loving me. And because that's something else I believe, that if you really hate somebody, you lie to them. If you hate yourself, you lie to yourself. And that's actually was my problem with food along the way, is I really hated myself and I was hurting myself with food. But if you really love somebody, you'll tell them the truth. And if you really love yourself, you'll tell yourself the truth. And so here's a few things about lying to yourself. If you lie to yourself, you cannot course correct. I did not start losing weight and loving myself until I stopped lying to myself. If you are trying to move forward in life and you're stuck, one of the reasons might be is because you're lying to yourself about a certain aspect in your life and how it needs to change. And here's a few signs, by the way, that I've just noticed over the course of my life, and that where you lie to yourself. It's if you lie to yourself, it's hard to be vulnerable with others. It was really hard to be vulnerable about food with others. In that area of my life. Or you'll put on a mask like, hey, it's not that bad. You listen to my example of the mask like, oh, it's really not that bad, right? Or the other thing, and for whatever reason, I don't normally do this, but you're prone to extremes. Everything is either extremely bad or delusionally great. And actually, you could even argue it was delusionally great. I was just okay. And by that, I mean, everything is great. There's never any problems in your life. Never. Everything is amazing. Or everything is the end of the world and you're the most horrible person to ever exist. And those are at least what I found to be symptoms if you're lying to yourself. And the biggest thing, like I said, is if you lie to yourself, it prevents you from changing and growing, and you actually cannot course correct. And this is why a lot of businesses fail, because they lie to themselves. You watched Walmart do this when Amazon started popping up. Walmart lied to themselves and said they would be okay, and now Walmart is playing a catch-up game. And it's really interesting to watch that. Well, anyways, guys, I'm out of time, so I'll catch y'all later. Peace.